Okay, so first, before we dive in, let me explain my theory, and before we get into, I want you guys to see if or I want you guys to maybe see if I'm right or if I'm wrong here. So I think what Campy is doing, because he's going to start really going off into some weird theories, and I think he's doing that as a deflection. I think he's doing it as a way to keep himself from really admitting that he fucked up. So instead of just going like, "Oh, I got sent this thing, I fucked up," he's just going to start throwing everything at the wall, the kitchen sink, everything, to see if it sticks, in order to make sure that no one is talking about
It's
beforehand.
almost like Campea might have spoiled the two biggest surprises of this movie and is trying to deflect by saying, "Well, there must be bigger surprises because we already all knew this was in the movie."
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. That's my whole point with this. That yeah, it's like that's kind of what it feels like. H Bart's here for $2. Is Doom Octopus says you're not the Uber driver. Okay. I don't know
Because
it.
Doc Ock says to Peter Parker, "You're not my Peter Parker."
Oh my god. H bars, dude, you're killing me, buddy. I love you, but you're killing me. What is this? All right, so let's take a look.
You guys know, number one, I have never been invited to a Spider-Man premiere in my life. That's one of the few kind of franchises I've never been invited to. I've never been invited to a Spider-Man premiere, nor will I be this year, for sure. But news has come out, or at least reports have come out, and stories have started to come out, that Spider-Man No Way Home, which is going to start screening for some critics in advance, what is traditional is, for the press junket, they show the movie to critics in advance so that the critics, as they go, and the interviewers, as they go into the junket, then know the movie they just saw so they know how to intelligently interview the people, right? Straightforward.
I'm honestly, God, when is any of that really intelligent?
Well, that's what I was mentioning too. It's like, even if they do get to see the movie, and it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna see the movie, so you have an idea of what we want to talk to the people about. It's like, they always ask super broad, very vague questions anyway, because they really don't talk about the movie itself. Outside of, what did it feel like to come back to this role, or what was it like to work with Zendaya again, Tom? It's like, the very basic questions that anybody could ask.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's always, or this one's going to be, so Tom, can you tell me what it's like being New Hollywood's it couple? That's what they're going to ask Tom and Zendaya, because that's the new information. Or they're going to ask, Benedict Cumberbatch. So, like, what's it like doing Doctor Strange in this back to back, or some shit like that? Or my
Or they're gonna
personal
ask, if they ask Alfred Elise, like, what was it like to come back? What was it? What was the process different?
yeah, they're always yeah. That's the thing. It's look, press junkets are some of the stupidest shit out there because no one fucking cares. No one cares.
Well, remember the Force Awakens, where they couldn't, like, they didn't really know anything about the movie, so they had to just go off by talking to the actors, just kind of vague. And you have Frosty from
Oh,
Collider
Frost.
went to Harrison Ford. It's like, so let's play some trivia games or whatever. It's like, so Harrison Ford, who shot first, Han or Greedo? It's like, I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. That made me really just his response of like, I don't care, and it's like, ooh, Frosty just got destroyed. I don't know how I would feel if I ever asked a question like that to Harrison Ford and got shot down like that. Harrison comes across as like a crusty old dude, but I hear he's got like a really good heart.
Yeah, he's a grandpa.
Let's see. H bar says Mundane Matt, No Way Home. That's fine. Let's let it die. Also, H Bart's here for $5 says, do you know an Uber driver who is Mundane Matt? Doom says yes. RJ says,
Is that him?
is that him? Points to Kevin Smith. Doom says no. I do understand that reference, but goddamn, dude, punctuation is your friend.
Hey, YouTube text limit, Matt.
I know. Thank you very much, H Bars. I'm just giving you a hard time, but thank you very much. All right, let's keep going.
Easy enough. Or is it? We all know that there's going to be a lot of stuff and a lot of big surprises in the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. And now there are reports going around that saying these advanced critic and interview screenings, they're only going to show them 40 minutes of the movie. 40 minutes of the 2.5-hour movie.
What?
Now, this one comes to us from CBR. This writing, members of the press who screened Spider-Man No Way Home apparently won't be seeing the film in its entirety. A number of insiders, including big screen leaks, are reporting that the press screenings will only feature about 40 minutes of the actual movie. This is said to be just enough to give journalists some context for an upcoming Junkets and other press events. The full version of No Way Home will screen for the premiere and for early purposes. I think that's the case, and for whatever early purposes. So there's that. That's the word going. And then, of course, we see the big screen leaks. Verified Twitter account saying the press won't be seeing all of Spider-Man No Way Home tomorrow. The full movie won't be screened for the first time until the premiere actually happens. And that's like not for another week or so, or more than another week from now. So I think, Kim, you were asking me when this came up, you asked me, have they done this before?
Yeah.
I have never heard of this being done before.
So weird.
In the 14 years I've been doing this, I have never heard of this being done. Now,
So to that, I forget when I was talking with Louis Lecca, he would go to a lot of these screenings, and there was like, I believe it was The Mandalorian or something like that, where they only showed like a little bit of one thing and then a sizzle reel of other parts of it.
Yes, with The Mandalorian, I believe they showed the press the majority of the first episode, but they ended it before you got to see Grogu. They ended it before they had the final like 5 minutes of the episode or something like that, and they
Yeah.
this is real. And I could have sworn, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, didn't they kind of do something similar with Endgame to where they showed the press some of the movie, like the beginning of the movie, but outside of that, they kept the entire thing a secret until the premiere?
I mean, I don't remember it offhand, but that would not surprise me.
Because I could have sworn they did something similar to Endgame. And like at CinemaCon and other press events, they did not show most of the movie. They showed maybe like 15, 20, 30 minutes tops.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously for the press junket, this is what they're just trying to give people something to talk about. That's not going to lead into how crazy the spoilers are. But I think like John, he's playing dumb here. He's playing dumb, and he knows better. Right? Never in my 14 years have I seen this. No. I believe you have. I really believe that you have, but you're getting played up like you haven't, because again, it ties into what comes next.
I want to, before we go too deep into the conversation of this, I do want to point something out. I did write to a contact at Disney and ask if this report was true. And the person at Disney wrote back to me exactly what I should have known they were going to write back to me. Dude, we're not the ones working on Spider-Man No Way Home. That's Sony. So we have no idea.
And again, he already knew that.
So
He would have already.
why is he saying it?
Yeah.
It's like, duh, of course they're not going to say anything.
Well, remember, it's all about playing dumb. Well, I mean, like, I emailed a rep at Disney and I got back the answer that I should have known I was going to get. It's like, no, and he started off by saying, I've never been invited to a Spider-Man premiere. But he knows it's all Sony. Okay.
No idea if that's true or not.
That's right.
Now, I'm sure some people at Disney know if it's true, but the publicists there at Disney, they're like, we don't know. Like, we're not the one publicizing this movie. This is Sony. So I wrote to a rep at Sony, haven't heard anything back. But I did hear back from Disney. They just said they don't know if this is true.
But it's not an answer. It's not a thing.
This would be a first.
Very interesting.
This would be a first, as far as I know, that they are actually releasing a screening for the critics to come and see, for journalists to come and see, but at the same time only showing the part of it. The only other time
So it's not 40 minutes of the movie. I can confirm that it's apparently only 31 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And I say this because just an hour ago, I made a joke there about Louis Lecca. I saw that Captain James Biggins asks about Louis Lecca, and I went and just quickly looked for a second, and Louis posted this thumbnail an hour ago.
Oh.
So
probably, did he see it? Did he see it?
well,
Or
he
probably talked to
says that
someone
he
who was there.
he's no, he says that he did. I'm actually going to bring that up because it's only 3 minutes, and we can take a look at that real quick and then get into the campy a bit because because this is kind of breaking, I guess you could say. So, hi Lewis, long time no see. You still look the same, look grayer around the beard.
I appreciate though he's nice and quick to the point. It's a 3-minute video.
Yeah. He's not like me. I'm long-winded. He's generally not.
What's up, friends? This is Lewis here, and yes, it's true. Spider-Man No Way Home has actually kind of screened for most of the press, or not really most of the press that gets to interview the cast this weekend, because there are junkets going around. So earlier today, I saw the rumor that they were only screening 40 minutes of the movie. I could tell you for a fact it was 37 minutes of the movie. And what was in it? I'm not going to tell you what was in it. But I will say this. There's one major spoiler that was in it. And also, I just want to get a little bit of a reaction or my thoughts on why only 37 minutes of the movie was shown.
But is he confirming that he saw it?
The news outlets
to
do the interviews or conduct the interviews this weekend. And I think a lot of it lies in that the studios are not trusting the mainstream media or the media they are inviting. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of outlets that have spoiled major plot points of films, including this one. You could thank that person that put those images from this movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, online. This is the answer to it. And let me tell you, I can confirm there were people in the press or of the press that saw 37 minutes that didn't know it was only 37 minutes and were not happy about only getting 37 minutes. But please don't direct the anger at the studio. This is all spoiler access media people that have way more access than me. Yes, I am going to be watching Spider-Man. I choose actually to watch it entirely. Excuse me. I don't want to watch only part of it. Okay. So like if I would have gotten invited to watch 37 minutes, I would have said no. Even if
that's a lie.
Said, hey,
that's a lie.
You get to interview the cast. I would have said no, because I want to watch this movie.
That's a lie. I can guarantee you that's a lie.
That may happen, and I want to. I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know why?
To be fair, I don't know.
I am being fair. I'm being legitimately fair. I know Lewis pretty well. There is no way he would not go, because he would be able to then talk about it. He'd be able to interview the cast. And then he would tell me that his interviews did better than Collider, and then he would complain about how he's not getting as much access. Never mind, his interviews on YouTube get more views than Collider does for the same junkets. But he would absolutely positively go to the movie and watch 37 minutes and then come back just so he could talk about it. Like, just so he could talk about it. Go, I saw it. Because it would be something he could write for his website that would get clicks, that would get views. He could do it for fucking Nerd Report or whatever. He would absolutely go. No question in my mind about that. So I just think it's really funny that he's like, no, if they would have invited me, I would have gone. But he didn't say that in the very beginning. He implied that he was there. So someone apparently who he knows told him about it. And I'm very curious who that was.
It's going to be special. So what did the people think of what they saw? Mostly positive. So I didn't hear anything negative. People, what they saw, all I got was better than they thought. All right. And with high expectations. All right. I don't know. I didn't ask for too much details. What's the purpose of this video? Okay. To confirm a few things. 37 minutes of Spider-Man is out there. Spider-Man No Way Home. Major spoiler. Cameo was shown. And I really think the reason only 37 minutes have been shown of this movie is because irresponsible journalists who have spoiled it for everyone else, including now the mainstream media. So what could I say we know that movie's coming. I'm going to be watching it a little bit earlier, so stay tuned for the review here. And I will not just drop spoilers without warning or whatever. So there we go. What do you think of that, guys?
All right, so that's a fucking non-video right there.
Can I just say though, I think it's hilarious that he basically said the reason this is happening is that's all John Campea's fault.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't like he doesn't like Campea very much.
To be fair to him, well, considering what happened with Variety and the Internals post-credit scene, the way some of the media spoiled movies in their reviews before, like even with Ghostbusters Afterlife, I believe, and the way this movie's been treated by some of the press, can you blame Sony for acting like this right now? I don't.
No, I don't blame them one bit, but again, it's all part of building the hype train. Fandom Menace L's asking, did he see it or not? I can't tell. No, he didn't see it. He says about
people who did though
2/3 of the way through that if he was invited, he would not have gone. Which, and I'm telling you that's a fucking lie because I've known the guy for 3.5 years. He would absolutely go. But yes, he is absolutely blaming Campea completely. And yeah, H Barts, I think you're right on that, but I'm not gonna highlight it. However, H Barts with another $5 here says Enosh sits in his bed. A bright light flashes. He looks at his computer and sees Matt Jarbo and says, "That guy," then eats banana. Okay.
All right then.
All right, man. All right, cool.
Listen, if there is a major cameo in this first 37 minutes, I think we all kind of know what it could be, but who knows at this point? We don't know.
Well,
we don't know. So
well,
we don't know.
I don't think it's necessarily Campea. I do think the Eternals spoiler is a thing.
No, I mean to say cameo. I mean to say the cameo in the first 30 seconds.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I agree with you. I think I know who it is. And that's honest to God the only one I want. It's the only one I want.
Yeah.
Literally.
It could be anything else though. We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
That Lekka is full of it. Yeah, he's definitely baiting people. And if you've seen what his buddy Andy Signore's been up to recently, you can kind of tell. I mean, there is bad and then there's bad. Anyway, let's continue here because I want to try to be out of here in about a half hour because I hooked up my Xbox One X and I want to watch Final Fantasy in 4K before I go to bed.
I saw something that was even close to this. It was before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. And it made sense because nobody had ever heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was the first real big gamble that Marvel had taken. And so Marvel held this big event in Hollywood where they
actually held the big event everywhere because I went to it in San Diego. They showed like 15, I think it was like they showed 17 minutes of the movie. It was basically the prison escape scene from like 2/3 of the way in.
Oh, okay. That's a really good scene.
It's a great scene. It's from when they get to the prison to when they escape. The whole sequence. They showed the whole sequence. And that did help out quite a bit. Earlier this year, Warner Brothers did that for Dune. They showed Dune, the opening 10 minutes of Dune. So it's not uncommon for studios to do this. It doesn't happen all the time.
Especially if it's an unknown property and they need to create buzz and get people to be invested in some way.
No one likes a bragger, Jarbo. Dude, I had to sit in the front row. All right. Like, you know what? I'm a brag. So there you go. But yeah, so let's kind of jump ahead a little bit here because I just want to.
That is one. And somebody in the live chat, I think it was Soulcraft saying in the live chat, Hugh Jackman confirmed.
Hello.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you what. I ain't taking that off the table. As impossible as I think that Hugh Jackman will ever come back to play Wolverine again, I ain't going to take that off the table. Like if I had to bet $5, do I think Hugh Jackman's going to be in this movie? No. But would I bet $100 on it? Nope. At this point, I would not. I think everything is on the table. Hell, I ain't even going to say it's impossible that Ben Affleck can't come through as Daredevil. From his old,
God.
I'm just telling you, I am not taking it off the table. I think the surprises are going to be so big. Big surprises.
Big surprises.
These surprises so
What was
big
that?
it will shock the
I
world.
don't know.
Because not only are they, listen, this is a 2.5 hour movie. They're not only just saying, hey guys, we're only going to show you 2 hours. We got to leave about a half hour of it out.
Yeah.
They're only showing them 40 minutes.
Oh my God.
40 minutes. Big surprises. I'm telling you, huge.
You think, and it's the first
Big
40
surprises
minutes,
that he
right?
Probably ruined.
I don't know.
Because
It
for
could
me,
be a very cherry-picked 40 minutes to work around
right?
a lot of things. So,
Oh my God.
I mean, I think this is because there's literally no other reason to not show the journalists the whole thing. That's the way it's always done. And that is the way it should be done. You look, if you're going to send in journalists to interview filmmakers and actors and things like that, they should have seen the entire movie to be able to intelligently interview them. The fact that they're not, and that's the way Disney always does it. That's the way Sony always does it. The fact that they're not doing it here, the only explanation to me is, number one, that there are surprises in this thing that none of us are even contemplating. Like, we know Venom's going to be in there.
yeah.
We know Toby and Andrew. Most of us know Toby and Andrew. You are still.
Do we know
dubious about
Venom's
that.
going to be in there? I mean,
No, that's
they
what
allude
baffles
to
me.
it,
That's
but
what baffles me as well. He's making these assumptions like, well, everybody knows at this point. No, people don't know.
which makes
They
me
might-
wonder if that was a slip.
I mean, there was the Tom Hardy, what was he wore, that little No Way Home hat that got deleted off social media, and there's the other thing too. But regardless, he's acting like this is common knowledge. Everyone's expecting this. So he's trying to make a big hoopla like, oh guys, there might be stuff with this we don't even know about. It's like, no, the average person still doesn't know some of these people might be in the movies. We don't know. They don't know, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a leap of logic on his part to say, well, we already know this, guys. Come on, everybody. Most people know. Come on. No, most people don't know yet. So
Yeah, we have you know, no idea of of any of that shit. And but I think again he's trying to go so over the top with it that he is just really trying to make it out to be like, oh no, it could be anything, guys. It could be anything. I don't know what I'm talking about, but now at what point does he go really crazy with it? You said there's like one point where he just goes,
well, it's just the whole thing. Like he's kind of like losing his mind, going, "Oh my god, guys, this has never happened before. It's a big surprise."
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go for like another couple minutes.
But most of us still know Toby and Andrew's going to be in there. Philip Gray is saying gold boots are going to be in there. For those of you who watch the DC fandom event, you know what he's talking about. Gold boots are going to be in there. Fox in the Future saying Justin Bieber as Galactus is going to show up.
Never say never.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So the first thing this tells me is that there are going to be surprises, the likes of which I don't know that we've ever had in films before. The second thing it tells me is this. Sony doesn't trust their journalists.
Hello.
Now, look. It is common, unfortunately, that at premieres, where it's not just journalists, it's people and their dates, actresses bringing their kids, guys bringing their moms, whatever. There are tons of people who go to premieres that are not a part of the studio, not a part of the industry. Tons of them, right? When I'm sitting in the Dolby cinema, the Dolby. What's the Dolby Center called? Anyway, where they hold the Academy Awards.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm at the Dolby, where they hold the Academy Awards, and they're doing a big premiere, there's like 1,000 people in there, 2,000 people in there, right? Probably like half of them aren't a part of the film industry. They're probably just, regular people. And so after premieres, yeah, you get a lot of leaks come out of premieres. You get a lot of leaks. You don't get a lot of leaks coming out of press stuff, unless you're Forbes. Unless it's Forbes. But and I love Forbes. I do. I quote Forbes a lot, but they do have their film reviewers have a tendency to drop major spoilers in their reviews. But that being said, it number one tells us there are going to be massive things in there, and number two, it tells us Sony does not trust their critics or their journalists. It's not even for the critics, it's the journalists going to cover this. They don't trust them enough that they'll keep it secret. Or maybe they just feel what we're dropping in this, there's no way they'd be able to keep it a secret.
Yep.
Like when Ben Affleck comes through as Daredevil,
Of course.
Nope.
and Hugh Jackman comes through as Wolverine,
Sure.
Indeed.
and Christopher Reeve, resurrected
Oh
from the
my
dead,
Oh, God
comes
bless
back as
him.
Superman.
Wow.
God bless
See,
him.
They
this
might
is,
just
like,
be
over
thinking,
the
look,
top
we trust
crap,
these
man.
journalists, but
Yeah, and then what's up with the peanut gallery? Like, I don't know. His
I
new
don't know,
hosts,
It's
they
never
don't.
fun, but it's silly. But here's the thing, too, right? This is also, I believe, Campea is contributing to a problem where he is kind of engaging in that overhype, overzealousness with this movie. You know, it's raising the expectations astronomically high on purpose, which he's
Yeah,
contributing
to
that
cover
problem.
his ass. If he's doing it to cover his ass. He said like, well, I won't be invited to the premiere, but maybe he's trying to.
Well, it's also like a little subtle jab where it's like, well, these people who are in the industry, they kind of ruin movies, you know, which is like, oh, you know,
Yeah, they don't
whatever.
trust their journalists who post spoilers. Really, John? I mean, it all feels like deflection. Like he's very much trying to cover his ass from what happened a couple weeks ago. Because otherwise, look, John Campea's got some bad takes. I cover him occasionally, but he's been consistently doubling down on this kind of stuff for the last week or so, which is why it pops up as often as it does. And it's just funny.
Well,
that it
what do you
happens.
think's going to happen, though, when the movie comes out and those pictures that he posted turn out to be real and they are actual, like, stills from the movie? Like,
no, I don't-
what's
no-
his response going to be? Is he going to be like, go on like an apology tour or what?
He'll say that he didn't think they were real, but when he got an email so that they might be real, they took him down, which is what he's already said. So the fact that they've already taken them down, and the fact that they've already, that he quickly got rid of them, will absolve him of any responsibility. So that's more or less what it's going
He's
to be.
never going to live it down, though.
Oh no, not at all. Tobey Maguire's dick is going to follow him around forever. Like that is something that I really would think it'd be funny to put that on a T-shirt. You know, just John Campea, and then just to quote Tobey Maguire's dick. No one would get it unless you've actually listened to him say that, but it
Yeah.
would just be so out of
See, that's
context.
the kind of thing, if you had any self-awareness, you should totally do that on a show. Make a look at Tom McGuire's dick T-shirt or something.
Yeah, exactly. Totally got to play that up. That would be great. So all right, we'll give it like another. Does he go through? This is like.
I mean, this is pretty much really it, to be honest.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll skip ahead by a few. We'll just see.
It's just that I haven't seen the movie, and a lot of people are saying he's in it. But just Venom,
right.
I'll be the happiest guy in the world just to see Venom and Spider-Man on the screen, like in their suits, fighting at the same time with each other or against other people. That's just it. That's my expectations for surprises are low on this one.
Right.
So if I see that, I'm happy.
You're happy with that.
It's already it already gets an 8 out of 10 without even talking about anything else.
Kim, what about you? What do you think would be the big surprise to you? Like if you walked in and think this would be the biggest thing that would surprise me.
Oh my gosh.
Magic Mike's abs?
Where his dance moves. I'm so excited for this. This says so much. If it's true, let me calm down. This says so much. If this is actually true, because that means, I agree with exactly what you said. I mean, some of you lovely folks think that Toby and Andrew is going to be in this. Bless your heart. But what else could possibly be happening?
Oh, Cameron
that
knows what
you
your big
are
surprise is.
so freaking afraid.
Cameron in the live chat knows what your surprise is.
Cameron, tell all.
Shazam. Shazam's going to be your big surprise.
I like it.
It's the done deal. Shazam.
I'm here for it.
With the headless Superman.
What could possibly be happening? That you do not want your journalists, people who are professional, people who get paid to do a job a certain way, you do not want them to see the whole movie. I'm starting to really feel like we're going to get like X-Men. I'm starting to feel like this is not, Toby and Andrew's not even going to be the issue at all.
Because it's got to be huge.
Or a major death.
Ooh.
I was already super sorry, guys. My voice is still not 100%. So whoever's listening to the podcast is like, her damn voice. It's still pitchy. I was already super excited about Spider-Man. And now this news makes me just like, I'm 50% more excited. Oh my God.
Okay, let me answer that question again. The biggest no chance surprise?
Yeah.
Miles Morales.
I'm trying to
Listen.
tell you, bro.
I have been totally, completely in the boat of Sony wants to keep Miles Morales in the animated realm, right? Something as little as if it's true, and they're only showing 40 minutes to critics, I ain't gonna bet $100 against Miles Morales, a live action Miles. I mean, I have said this whole time, there's no way Sony's putting Miles Morales in live action. They've got him. They're being incredibly successful with him in the animated thing. They're going to keep him there. But I'll tell you what, Ray.
That would knock me off my seat, literally.
I wouldn't bet ketchup on eggs against it. This is one thing I would not bet ketchup on eggs against.
I mean, if Spider-Man, what I think is, if Spider-Man goes off and does.
See, now that they're creating so high unrealistic expectations at this point.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Turning to that issue that like the fans are already kind of doing that to themselves at this point. They're just adding to that by making this a bigger like. Listen, is it interesting and an interesting topic? They're only showing the press like 37 minutes. Absolutely, it's worth a discussion. But like this over exaggeration, this overly playing it up as some massive deal to like raise expectations to astronomical lows that they already were at, even more so. It's a little irresponsible, to be honest. It's kind of like you're setting people up to be like way too overhyped and way too expecting way too much at this point, you know?
Yeah, no, it really is. Like, because that's the thing though, is John, either there is serious, like, disappointment that is going to happen. Or they are just like really trying so.
Do you mean like
hard.
Disappointment from the fans? Like you think it's gonna be a disappointing movie, or like?
Yeah. Like that's the whole point. Like not that I think it's going to be like a disappointing movie. What I mean by that is like it's like Sony is not stupid. I mean, they have their moments, but they're going to look at everything and they're going to go, okay, social media chatter says this. The leaks have said this or whatever. What's real, what's fake? They can't come out and say yet. But what if everyone's wrong? That's kind of where I'm at with this now. Like, it feels like it's so much that something about this is amiss.
Do you think like everything's too good to be true?
Well, it's possible that what they're doing is that they are trying to they are trying to overhype the movie, and in that, instead of trying to get people to manage expectations, they're trying to make it seem like this is like the biggest event of the year.
Because they want that huge opening weekend.
They want, yeah. Well, did you see what the I saw it earlier on Max's stream? They talked about how it could potentially have a
190 to 250 million.
Yeah, a $250 million opening weekend domestically during a pandemic. Fuck?
That's fucking insane.
I mean, like,
because dude, if there was no pandemic, this could top or like at least get close to matching Endgame's like what 350. Like that's not off the table of consideration what it could have done. Like 250 is still amazing, don't get me wrong, but imagine if there wasn't a pandemic, what this would have done.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously it would have done more than Far
This
From
movie's
Home.
making $1 billion, I think, no matter what.
I mean, like yeah, sure. I don't see it as not making that kind of cash. I really do feel it's going to end up doing that, but I think at the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, like, again, I just wonder if it doesn't live up to, my fear is that it's not going to live up to expectations.
Well, that's the question though, Matt, that I feel like all of us as fans need to think about. What exactly are the expectations at this point? Because I think every fan is like has wildly different expectations for this movie, what they want out of it. Because here's the thing, right? If you're expecting this to be Spider-Man 4 or maybe Spider-Man 3, this is not that. If you're expecting this to be like I don't know, if you're expecting this like a villain movie, I think you're not. I don't know, right? It's like the only expectation I have for No Way Home is I just want a good story. I want a good story that concludes this trilogy of Tom Holland films in a satisfying way while also building towards the future.
And that's, and I'm not going to lie, and it's because I want that too, that the idea of Toby and Andrew, no matter how cool, is one that ultimately kind of bothers me. Because everything I hear about this movie is about other people that are in this movie. And it's not about Tom Holland.
That's only natural though, because I think the movie we're actually going to be getting and this is what could lead to disappointment. But I think this is going to end up making it a great movie that'll be regarded as hopefully, kind of combating a lot of the hate towards this version of the character. Is this is still Tom Holland's movie? All of these characters coming in, it's absolutely amazing. It's cool, but I believe that they're going to exist to facilitate his story and his character arc, not to where. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say, it's like those characters coming in exist to further his character, not to where they're just there just to be there. They're all going to play in some way to the journey he's going on in this movie, and they're coming in to like add this crescendo to his trilogy and his arc overall to like complete it in some way to get him to where he needs to be for the next trilogy. So
no, that part I get. Either way, I think it's I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with Campea over the course of this next week and the crazy shit he's going to push. But